Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be changing a tire on a Thor Ace RV. We're out here at the Lakeland Airstrip, the Sun and Fun event in Lakeland, and customer's got a flat tire, so I'm going to show you how I get it done real quick. Okay, so they got a Thor Vegas, right? It's got a dually tire on the back, right? Has this hubcap on here, but this hubcap needs to be removed to get to our actual lug nuts, right? We can't just get to our lug nuts right now. And on these hubcaps, you want to look onto these decorative lug nut cover caps for like a little indentation on two of them, and they'll be, you know, clocked completely opposite from each other, one at 6 and one at 12, and I have a little indentation on the top of it, and that'll tell you that it needs to be unscrewed in order to get the hubcap off. But this one does not have any of those markings or indentions, so this will be one that just kind of holds on with the lip springs on the inside there. So normally inside your RV somewhere, you're gonna have like a little pry bar thing with a rubber mallet towards it, and that kind of goes up behind here, and then the mallet goes to your tire, and you can pry this hubcap off. Customer doesn't have it, so we're going to use this big flathead screwdriver and just kind of work our way around the rim of it to get the hubcap off. You don't want to pry too much on one side at one time because it'll cause little dents coming out of it, so just kind of work your way all the way around if you can there.
I thought each individual bolt.
Yeah, on some. So you heard me talking there to my phone. I got a YouTube channel, and what I was showing them is, yeah, you're right, exactly. So some of them will unscrew, and then it comes off, and then some pop off, and so. Boy, if you get it wrong and it's a screw on, and you're prying on it, you'll put all kinds of dents on the edge of this, and it'll look like trash, and you have to buy a new one. But that's why it's important to always look for those little indentions there before you start.
We couldn't get to yesterday, so I took the tire off. Yeah. And I said, I haven't got a lug nut big enough for that.
Yeah. Because see, those look like maybe 1.25 inches, but it's actually just the hubcap that pops off there, and it's held in by these little tensioners that go all the way around the inside of the rim. You can see the slash marks of it. And then once you get inside there, just a regular 21mm socket, and then this rim has a dowel pin on it, so it has to guide in on that dowel pin.
Lift either, so.
Yeah, we got a big old floor jack, so we're gonna get it with that real quick.
Pull that electric wire out of your way too, cable.
Alright guys, so I'll be using this 20-ton bottle jack that I got from O'Reilly's. It has a little screw top on it, if I can get that off. There we go. Sometimes it's just get a little friction in there. So basically put it under the car and then unscrew this, you know, as high as you can underneath the axle. That way you got less jacking to do. And then just jack it up, you know, with this right here, up and down, and it'll lift this thing up like nothing. All right, so we'll just grab this bad boy and slide it up under there. Get these spider webs out of my way. And basically, I just want to get into that axle way up in there, if we can. All right, now that you've crawled under this very low vehicle, get your jack into position. All right, fellas, so now that you're underneath the RV, you get your jack in position. Boom, there we go, right? So we got our thing all the way closed, that way it doesn't leak. And then we get under our axle and we screw this thing up as high as we can. So that's less jacking we got to do, right? And then grab our little jack handle, put it in position, and we start jacking. And then if it gets heavy to you, bring you, you know, something to fit in there. Guess not. Go the other way. Guess not. All right, you can see we got lift off now, so we're good to go. We'll go ahead and crawl out, change that tire. All right, guys, so we got it all jacked up. We'll go ahead and get this wheel off now. All right, we got our spare ready to go. We're up off of the ground. I'm using a Milwaukee 18-volt impact from Home Depot with a 21mm socket on it. And go ahead and rip these babies off. You can take them off in any order. It doesn't have to come off in a particular way. It just has to come off. That's it. Nope, not a 21mm. It was actually a 7/8 socket, so had to go grab another socket, but we got it. Good to go, ready to roll. Now you gotta kind of like wiggle it back and forth to get this thing off, because, you know, over time it kind of gets stuck on there. So just kind of work it back and forth. Show you guys real quick what it's held up on is just the inside hub here. Okay, it's not the lug studs. I'm not riding the rim on the threads or anything. It's on the hub right there. So just got to work it off real quick and it'll come right out. Get stuck to the hub, so you got to walk them off because it gets real tight right here. Wow. And so you have to walk it off, you know what I mean? And the rust buildup makes it a little worse, but it'll come. There it goes.
Go force it, get a bigger hand.
Yeah, right. All right, and she's up out of the way. All right, guys, so always check your air pressure in your spare before you put it on. If you're gonna leave it on for a while, I would suggest taking the little 90 hook air stem extender that's on your regular tire and screwing that onto your spare. If you're changing it to the inside, then you wanna put this inside one, you wanna screw that one to it. All right, guys, so on this particular setup, we have a dowel, right? So this little thing right here, we've got to line that up with the hole in the rim. which is like this guy right here, right? All the rest of them are lug stud holes. This one is the dowel pin hole. So you got to line that up, and you also want to have your air stems, your valve. You also want to have your valve stems opposite from each other. They don't want to be, you know, the same on each side. Whew, getting a little breathed. Okay, so unfortunately this air valve is on the same side as this dowel pin, which kind of puts us similar to here. We're off a little bit, but not a, you know, a full, you know, six, you know, a full whatever. All right, so let's take our wheel, put that baby up in here. Valve stem extension doohickey. All right, so as you can see, I got the dowel lined up, got all of our studs lined up, and then we're just gonna push it up on there. Take all of our lug nuts and thread them on by hand. Hand tighten them about maybe 5 rotations or so. That's just to ensure that you're not gonna cross thread them. What is cross threading? Cross threading is when you jump threads. Okay, you go from one thread all the way over to the next instead of running through the groove. If that happens, when you're screwing it on, you'll feel the lug nut is tight and you can't screw it, and you're like, oh, why won't that turn? Because it's cross threading. So unscrew it, try to rescrew it on again, and if that doesn't work, then either clean out your threads or get a new lug stud. I mean lug nut. If it's your lug stud that's messed up, you can get what they call a thread chaser, and you can chase the thread and clean it and re-groove it in the correct way. All right, so now we got them all on. Take this Milwaukee 3/4%, put this baby on setting number 2 so we don't over torque it. That'll make sure we torque it just right. If I put it on 3, it'll over torque the crap out of this thing, but 2 does it right, and 3 is what you use to take it off. So now they got 3 different settings, or 4 different settings on there. All right, so usually go bottom first just because it holds it good. Run that in, and then run the top end. Back to that original one, and then just work a cross pattern, you know, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then, you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like that, so it'll seat the wheel correctly to the hub. Look at a helicopter about to take off right there. All right, so now that we got it all on tight, then we're gonna go around the world just to make sure we got them all on really, really good. We're golden now, baby. All right, so now we can take our hubcap, put that baby back on. You got to get your valve stem to go through that also. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to squish that back behind there either. And then here's our spare tire valve stem without the 90-degree on it. Oh, there goes the helicopter. It's taking off. All right, so we'll put our hubcap on and we'll get our jack lowered down and we'll be all done with this thing. I don't think this is the same type of rim as the one that we took off, because this is on there very loose when I put it on. So maybe we don't run this on the spare because it's not staying on tight at all. So I imagine if they drove down the road with that, it would chatter, I know for sure, but then eventually it would just come off. So we're just gonna leave it all down until they get the full size put back on, or the regular put back on. Hubcap don't fit on that one. Yeah, which is odd. Like when I put it on, it's real loose. This one, it was tight. So I don't know if it looks like the same exact rim, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to stick in there. Alright guys, just come in here and let our jack down, and then we're off to the next one. Grabber. Alright guys, just come in and let our jack down, and then we're off to the next one. If I can get the jack down. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and air up the spare real quick to 65 pounds. You can see here it's only got 43 in it right now. So go ahead and turn that up to 65. And this thing will shut itself off at 65, so that's why I like to use this thing. And this is another Milwaukee tool from Home Depot, the compact inflator. And works pretty daggone good. All right, you guys, I appreciate you stopping by and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. That's how to change a tire on your Thor Ace motorhome. See you guys on the next video. Bye. All right, go ahead and get this unscrewed, and then we're out of here, baby. All right, we'll go ahead and get this unscrewed. I'll get our little cap back on there so I don't get no dirt and whatnot in there. Good to go. All right, this call was over at the Lakeland Airstrip, so I'll show you guys a couple of things before I leave real quick. A couple of jets over here. And then they got all the hangars and the little, you know, prop planes and stuff over here. Show you real quick. They got the big old private jet up in there. Look at that, baby. Oh yeah, that's big pimping right there. Some more prop planes over here. Some real nice ones right there with covered up.
Oh, hi! Drive your car!
I guess I'm on wrong side or something. I don't know. Check out this cool one right here. The big boy Volvo. Little seaplane. And they got a bunch of other stuff way over on the other side of the airport too. I'm just getting started. All right, well, we're out of here, guys. Fly Lakeland. See you on the next one.